it just kind of really hits you. This is real. Adulthood has finally arrived.
All right, I'm going to call to order the March 17th regular meeting of the Forest Hills Board of Education. This is a meeting held in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a community public hearing. You can't hear me now. Here we go. Is that better? Okay. There's time for public comment during the meeting as indicated in agenda item 7. If you would like to speak during public comment, please fill out one of the comment cards that are right outside the door where you came in, and they will be picked up right after the superintendent's report. Now, if you would all please join me as we welcome Girl Scout Troop 8878 as they lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could turn around and tell everybody your name, that would be awesome.
My name is Sophie.
Thank you, Sophie.
My name is
Adler, thank you.
My name is Alice.
Alice, thank you.
My name is Roz.
Roz, thank you. You did a great job. All right, first up on our agenda is our instructional highlight given to us today by the Meadowbrook Elementary Principal, Mrs. Dawn Herma.
Thanks so much. It's such an honor to be here tonight. We're so excited to celebrate some of the great successes that are happening at Meadowbrook and kind of blanketed in the work that the district is doing with PBIS. Tonight, I'm presenting with Kelsey Telsrow, who is my school counselor, so she'll join me, or we'll trade off back and forth. So we are just grateful to be here, as I said, and I wanted to acknowledge the rest of our team. We have quite a few teachers on our team, and all of them have various things going on. A couple of them were actually planning to be here and present tonight, and one of them had an electrical fire in her house, so you never know what's going to happen on any given day. So we're happy to be here with just the two of us and share with you a little bit about what's happening at Meadowbrook. So for those of you in the room who aren't familiar, PBIS is a district-wide initiative, but it's also something that each individual school in Forest Hills has kind of personalized to make sure it has the most targeted impact on our staff and students. So our PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and the intention of PBIS across the country is to really proactively teach positive behaviors, or teaching expectations, so kids know what they're supposed to do and nothing catches them by surprise. And it really works when it's done well to create a supportive culture in the school, from our recess aides, lunch staff, teaching staff, myself, and kids, that everyone knows kind of the same expectations and they're looking for kids doing the right thing. So it's a really data-driven and decision-making model, so we're doing a lot of collecting data and using that data to inform how we teach and reteach. So a great example of that might be, we collect data and realize, oh, our 4th grade lunch, we're seeing a lot of behaviors happening during that period of time based on the data. Okay, great, what are we gonna do differently? Is it just reteaching? Do we need to change seating structures? Do we need to bring in more tables? Do we need to hire more staff? Get volunteers in? There's a lot of different ways to solve the problem, but it helps us to isolate what the problem is and then get the right people around the table. This is,
tell you about
pause this real quick. I'm going to go back in just a sec because the pause is moving me forward. But this is the kids' perspective from Meadowbrook in terms of what is PBIS from their perspective. It's a little hard to hear. We were messing with the, and this is as loud as it can get, but hopefully you can hear these kids. The first student on my left is a student from our CI program, and it's a little hard to hear, but when he talks about this, he says that persistence is something about getting out of the dip, and what he's talking about is when you dip down in the challenge that you continue to work hard and come back at it. So
we are going to tell you about PBIS drawing at Meadowbrook. I'm Evan Bachman and I'm in 4th grade. I'm Robin Holt and I'm in 4th grade.
I'm Levi Sabisky and I'm in 4th grade.
Great. How do you show pride at Meadowbrook? Levi, you go first.
Being persistent by getting out of the dip.
Go ahead, Robin.
Being inclusive by playing with my friend when they have nobody to play with. Being respectful. Another reason is when you're being respectful to your substitute teacher, because a lot of people in class go crazy over a substitute.
Awesome. And then Levi, you start. What is your favorite thing about getting tickets for doing the right thing?
Getting a prize.
Good.
Probably helping my class earn a prize. My favorite thing about it is being a hero to other people, and it just feels good to be a hero.
So I'm going to walk you through what PRIDE, that's our district acronym, but what that really looks like in actual practice at Meadowbrook Elementary. So persistent, for us, one of the things that we've really been focusing on is a check-in, check-out system. And if you're not familiar with that, it's really a individualized, it can be considered a behavior plan, but it's really a support plan for kids where each day in the morning they check in with a really trusted adult. And throughout the day, their teacher really encourages them to stay with their goal. So if their goal is to keep your hands and feet to self, after morning meeting, did you keep your hands and feet to yourself? And if they did, it's an intentional way for that teacher to say, great job, let's keep that up for our reading lesson. And after reading, we check in again. And so it's that continual focus on persistence around a particular goal. And we have a lot of kids doing this program, but I think another piece of it that I want to highlight is the number of staff willing to jump in and be a special check-in, check-out person. So it's the classroom teacher doing it throughout the day, but there's like a special adult. And a couple of great examples, we have a 3rd grader who's checking in and checking out with his 2nd grade teacher because that person was so important to him. A 1st grade kiddo who is building a relationship with his upcoming 2nd grade teacher so that that transition is easier for him when he gets there. So that's a great persistence at Meadowbrook. We are respectful, and one thing that we've been really working on is respecting not only the people learning, so then you see the common voice levels, keeping a quiet space, but I also love the other side of this is weekly recycling crew. Our CI students have created a recycling crew, and they're working hard to both respect the environment, but also the school. So they go to every single classroom and pick up their recycling, bring it out to the paper gator. We earn money that way, but it's also a way to really be engaged in the school. We are inclusive, and I think all of our Forest Hills schools do this really well. We have such a huge focus on belonging and have done so much work to create specific ways that we can create opportunities for kids to belong. We are lucky at Meadowbrook to have the CI program for our elementary kids housed at Meadowbrook, so we get kind of a unique opportunity to dive into inclusivity a little bit more deeply. So our Links program creates that. So this is a few of our pictures of our Links program where our general education students are partnering as friends and support for our students in our cognitively impaired program. We have weekly unified sports, unified art, they play bocce ball, and they just become friends. And so you see them on the playground together, just being friends and including one another as just buddies. It's great. We are really proud of those connections, and it makes everybody extra glad to be a Meadowbrook family. We are dependable, and when I sit with kids and talk about pride, I use the term, I can count on you, for dependable, because that can be a tricky word for little kids to understand, like, I can count on you to do this. And one of the things on here, we have pictures of lots of things happening, but I love the cross-aged buddies. It's really like, I can count on my older friend to help me out. I can count on you to read with me or to chat with me, see me in the hallway and give me a high five. So really looking for ways that we can depend on one another to be really successful. And we're working hard to do this every day. And these are just a few highlights from Meadowbrook. I'm going to invite Kelsey Telsrow, Meadowbrook's school counselor, up to share a little bit more about the specifics of what this looks like at Meadowbrook with our whole system.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Like Dawn said, I'm Kelsey Telsrow. I'm the school counselor, but I'm also the PBIS lead in our building. So along with our team, we've just kind of worked really hard at implementing this, and it's been really cool to see. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through how it works at Meadowbrook. So at the picture, you can see the tickets. Each grade level is a color, so it's kind of fun to see classroom buckets get filled up with all sorts of colors. You know, 4th grade teachers catching kindergartners doing the right thing, just to really build that school-wide community. When kids earn a ticket for showing pride, they then put it in their classroom bucket. And then with their buckets, we do weekly and monthly drawings. So the weekly drawings is the teacher just pulling 5 tickets out of their bucket, and then the kids get to come down to like our main lobby area, and we have all of our monthly prizes out, and they put their ticket into what prize they hope they get to be picked for. At the end of the month, we draw for our monthly prizes where the kid actually gets to take that really special thing home. So you can see some of the kids who earned prizes our last month. One thing that's been really cool is we have been doing experiences for students too, not just like tangible things. So there's lunches with staff members, there is principal for the day, there's been staff members who take kids sledding, and similar to what Dawn had said earlier, it's just really cool how many staff members have volunteered their time to just really build connections and relationships with kids. So that is to highlight individual rewards, but we also have an opportunity for the whole class to win a reward. In their bucket, there's a line, so when all of their tickets get filled up to the line, they get to pick from their class menu, and then they get to do some sort of classroom reward. So this makes sure that we hit all students, so they're all feeling like they get something out of this, even if they don't get picked for the monthly drawing. And again, just a really great way to build relationships, and it's been really fun. We've got some like fun kits that they can choose from, like the glow party kit, and they get to have like a 10-minute dance party or whatever it is, and kit classes will vote on what they would like to do. One fun thing that we did this year too is we called it Bucket Bonanza. So we did it for, it was about like 3 months in total, but each grade level had to fill up 8 buckets. So the whole first grade had to fill up buckets, and we were tracking it on a bulletin board, and it was really fun. All the kids were like, what, 3rd grade's at 6? Like, they all got really excited about it. And then once we all reached our goal, we had a really fun assembly. We had a magician named Cameron Zavara come in. He was awesome. He was so funny, and the kids had so much fun, and it was just like a really fun thing for kids to work for. We had videos. He made videos for us to keep encouraging kids, and it was just like a really cool way for us to celebrate positive behavior at Meadowbrook. And then our last thing that we've kind of double dipped on is getting our Pride Pup involved in PBIS as well. So we've used Rebel as monthly rewards, so some students have earned extra time with Rebel. We made up a thing called Rebel Rumble Days, where we every teacher gets 1 Rebel ticket, and then at the end of the day, whoever got that Rebel ticket for the day gets to come down and spend extra time with him and get a little Rebel sticker, and it's been just a fun way to celebrate our Pride Pup and also tied in with PBIS as well.
Okay. I just wanted to thank you, the board, for having us here, and also a quick shout out to our PBIS team members who weren't here tonight. Their names are up on the board, and thank you again for having us tonight.
Thank you very much. It was a great presentation. It's really wonderful to see all the positive things coming out of that. And, you know, it's one of those things that I think some of us came from a time when it was, you know what's expected of you, and if you don't do it, you get punished.
Yeah.
As opposed to, this is what's expected of you, and thank you for doing that. And
Yeah.
I think it makes a big difference.